An old industrial building wakes up with cleaned brickwork, an elegant café, and advertisements for exclusive housing. Yesterday, it looked marginal. Today, it sells a carefully packaged image of authenticity. The central question is simple: how can culture increase a neighborhood's value while reducing who can inhabit it? Sharon Zukin places this tension at the center of urban political economy. Her approach forces us to look beyond land prices. It also examines images, lifestyles, consumption, art, and heritage. These elements may seem soft, almost decorative. Yet they participate in a very material operation. They make a place desirable, recognizable, and profitable. The city can change first in our imagination and then in the ways its spaces are used. Zukin calls this mechanism the symbolic economy, linking culture, representation, and economic value. Imagine a street becoming known as creative, authentic, or different. That reputation does not remain only in the world of ideas. It can change how investors, consumers, and new residents interpret the area. Culture then works as a signal of value. An old building stops looking obsolete and starts looking distinctive. An ordinary shop can become a symbol of a desirable urban experience. Heritage gains the power to distinguish one place from another. The evidence described by this approach connects culture with real estate valuation. The irony is clear. Something that appears to resist the market can become precisely the argument used to market a place. First case. Imagine an old industrial space occupied for years by activities carrying little prestige. Its worn surfaces begin to represent creativity and alternative urban life. Housing then arrives that markets this same aesthetic. The brick never learned marketing, but somebody put it to work. This example summarizes a tension present in Zukin's studies of transformed urban spaces. Culture helps change a place's meaning before all its uses change. This can be read as a sequence of symbolic valuation. A new way of seeing comes first. That way of seeing becomes attractive. Finally, attraction can enter real estate logic. Gentrification therefore becomes connected to a struggle over meaning, rather than only a physical transformation of the neighborhood. Second case. Imagine a commercial area where small businesses, old facades, and local practices create a recognizable identity. That identity begins to be promoted as an authentic experience. The mechanism appears positive. Ordinary places receive attention, care, and prestige. But an uncomfortable question soon appears. Who controls this newly created image, and who receives value from it? For Zukin, urban authenticity cannot easily be separated from relations of power. When a local aesthetic becomes a brand, its function also changes. The place no longer speaks only to people who use it every day. It begins speaking to people who want to consume its image. This does not mean every cultural valuation produces the same result. It means representing a neighborhood can become a way of intervening in it. Third case. A small artistic environment begins to shape the reputation of an area. Workshops, cultural spaces, and patterns of consumption project a distinctive identity. That identity attracts attention because it appears difficult to find elsewhere. From the symbolic economy perspective, the point is not that art automatically causes gentrification. The mechanism is more complex. Cultural value can be appropriated by other actors and converted into an economic advantage attached to place. People producing an urban atmosphere may therefore lack control over the value that atmosphere generates. The uses that made a neighborhood recognizable can lose importance while their aesthetic remains visible. This can be read as an urban paradox. The image of difference survives while the space available to those who produce that difference becomes narrower. Here we reach one of the most provocative elements of Zukin's approach. Urban struggle also concerns who has authority to represent the city. An apparently innocent image selects what deserves visibility and what can disappear beyond the frame. A commercial version of authenticity can preserve buildings, colors, or historical references. At the same time, it can change who uses those spaces and for what purpose. The facts presented in this framework connect culture and capital with gentrification and the displacement of uses. The interpretation is that urban transformation also reorganizes legitimacy. Some ways of inhabiting a place appear compatible with its new image. Others begin to seem out of place. My editorial reading is simple: when a city sells authenticity, ask who gained the right to define it. There is, however, an important counter-argument. Cultural investment can rehabilitate spaces, attract activity, and give visibility to places previously ignored. Treating every aesthetic change as automatic proof of gentrification would be too simple. A neighborhood does not need to remain frozen in order to remain legitimate. Cities change because their residents, economies, and practices change. This argument deserves serious consideration. Zukin's framework is useful because it allows a more precise question. It does not ask only whether transformation exists. It asks how culture participates in producing value and who controls that process. It also directs attention toward which uses gain space and which lose it. The issue is not culture against development. It concerns the conditions under which culture becomes an economic and political resource. Return to the industrial building from the opening scene. We still see the same brick, but now we can read it differently. It is not merely an attractive wall. It can participate in an economy of images, desires, and lifestyles. Sharon Zukin shows that urban political economy also operates through these everyday symbols. Authenticity can function as memory, identity, and belonging. It can also become a tool of valuation. The original question therefore changes slightly. We no longer ask only how culture raises the value of a neighborhood. We ask who can transform cultural value into power over the city. Here we find the connection between symbolic economy, gentrification, and displacement. A city changes not only when its architecture changes. It also changes when the power to define what living there means changes.